I'm here with Dr. Scott. We're going to have a look at how the psychedelic movement and the counterculture influenced some comic book art and the way it was created, and I'm going to show them first, and then if you could talk us through what we're looking at. This says Captain Marvel issue 78, 1973.
The page 18, no less. Okay, so this is Jim Starlin. I guess it's worth talking about kind of the structure of the page. Usually on a comic book page, the idea is that the panels are taking us from one to another.
Yes.
So we understand the narrative. What's interesting about Starlin's work is it's very trippy in its visuals, very influenced by the counterculture, by the psychedelic experience itself. So in some ways it's a kind of an attempt to capture that kind of altered consciousness.
So we're not even reading it left or right like a traditional comic?
No, we can read it any direction we want. There is a direction of sorts if we follow it, so we can read it in terms of a spiral into the middle. These bits help. There are symmetries all the way through, so we're split down the middle via these three. We've got 3 down here, 3 up here, these 2 cross panels here, and then we've got another symmetry as well. Starlin it's a kind of psychedelic Freudianism is the best way to explain some of Starlin's themes. So this is Thanos. Again, very kind of explicit Freudian reference there. Thanatos and Eros, love and death. Jim Starlin tended to kind of literally embody those kind of things. So Thanos is literally in love with death, and this is Drax the Destroyer. So another symmetry here. So it sets up a connection between the hero, one of the heroes, and the villain. But notice they go in different directions as well. So they are reflections of each other.
The bottom one's going from right to left.
Yes.
Scanning in.
Yep.
Zooming in, and the other one is going from left to right, zooming in at the top.
Yeah. So reflections of each other, but mirror reflections. So they're opposites of each other, effectively. And then kind of running down the eyes and the hands, very non-linear. In some ways, these have got no relation whatsoever to the rest of the comic. We've got a strange appearance from Iron Man randomly here. As well, which plays into the larger story. But this kind of hand in the middle of the cosmos crushing a planet bears no relation to the rest of the page in some respects. There's a human hand, doesn't belong to Drax or Thanos, who are green and purple, but it's there purely to kind of elicit a kind of an emotional response, I suppose, or to give some idea of kind of the psychedelic experience, altered state of consciousness to the reader. But Starlin's work full of that. Panels quite often kind of burst apart, and that kind of drawing an equivalency between hero and villain as well. In Warlock, for example, that's taken to its kind of logical extreme, in as much as the villain is a future version of the hero.
Okay. Thank you.
There we go.